No, absolutely. For those that don't know,
come into your house.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I have the official manual they gave Janet here in our office for her daughter, and it says if you raise your voice, that is abuse. We're going to take them. There's no law saying that. There's not even a law against spanking. You just can't do serious bodily harm. So they're creating all over the country. I notice all the groups fighting CPS are the homeschooler groups because they're hunting these kids. They hate it. They're winning all the spelling bees and getting all the big, awards and the scholarships. And the CPS handbooks behave as if these are cults. And they also call it slave labor to make your kids do chores. In fact, under the UN Charter of the Children, you're not supposed to be able to tell your kids take the trash out.
Well, Alex, what they hate is that family traditionally and religiously has certain authority. They want to take away that authority. They hate that these Christian homeschooling families consider the sovereignty of God to be before the authority of the state. They want to destroy families. They want to bring every aspect of our lives under government control. And this is how they do it. These attorneys who work in this system, who are part of the advocacy for taking children away, do not believe that parents should have authority over their children. This is what this is about. Yeah. And this is going to destroy families. It's going to destroy our entire nation because families have always been the backbone of liberty.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, have you seen the official textbooks that they have where it calls the family mentally ill and a disease?
I've read about that.
No, I mean, I have the textbooks. We scanned them and put them up at prisonplanet.com. People never believe it, and they go look at it and can't. That's what's taught at UT for social workers is that, quote, families belong to the age of barbarism and must be eradicated. And most of these CPS workers, if they're not pedophiles, they were abused as children, so they think they're punishing mommy and daddy. They're very mentally ill.
Well,
I'm not kidding.
I have seen that myself. Yeah.
Hold on. This is Joanna. Scott, you're saying you've seen that.
I have actually watched as very good people get into this field, and within 6 months, they have turned into the most vile and hateful people, and I don't know what does it to them. I don't know if it's what's being asked of them. They either decide to do it or they quit. But I have watched it myself, the transformation of a caseworker that comes in as a very good, well-meaning person that's turned into a person that just destroys families. And
they have the biggest, we'll stay there, they have the biggest turnover of any government job, 50% or more. And so all that gets left is just psychos.
Are you concerned for the safety of your loved ones? Listen closely to this message from pepperspray.com. Every 22 seconds a violent crime is committed. America has changed, and your personal safety is your first priority. Be smart. Be safe. Trust pepper spray instead of your luck. Pepperspray.com is the only website you'll ever need for all of your non-lethal self-defense supplies. Pepperspray.com carries one of the largest assortments of pepper spray and personal safety products on the web. From big to small, we have it all. Pepper spray, mace, animal repellents, stun guns, and tasers. Pepperspray.com also carries a large assortment of products for personal, home, child, and pet safety. Enter SAFE in the coupon box, and you'll receive a special discount off of your order. So what are you waiting for? Go to pepperspray.com. That's pepperspray.com. Or call 1-800-908-9988 today.
Babylon system is the vampire.
Look, in the Roman Empire, the Aztec, Mayan empires, Babylonian, Qin dynasty in China, African dynasties in different regions, they would just come kidnap children and bring them to be re-educated and used usually as a slave class. And they'd kill the adults. Now they just use excuses. Your kid's got a bruise on their leg. And the CPS workers get bounties for taking them, and they take them. And they got kangaroo courts to do it. And we're talking to lawyer Jerri Lynn Ward and Joanna Scott, who heads up an advocacy group fighting these criminals. And I know their history. I know they were founded by the eugenicists, so I understand the whole paradigm. And it's just very, very wicked. SB 1440, to where fishing expeditions, when they knock at your door and you say, go get a warrant. You're not going to come in here just because, my neighbor sees TV ads saying kids shouldn't be playing in the backyard. And usually it's folks go, those kids need to be in school. I'm calling. Because the public's a bunch of scum as well on average now. A lot of filth out there. And even in wealthy neighborhoods, they come and try to take people's kids now because they've run out of the poor kids. Plus, they get more money for the, wealthier kids for some reason. And, for the better-looking kids, I guess, in some cases. And it's just you cannot make up stuff as bad as what reality is. It's so off the charts. Jerri Lynn Ward, Joanna Scott, other points that need to be made about it seems as if these federalized child kidnappers are really starting to get exposed. So their response is to try to pass a bunch of unconstitutional laws nationwide and go after kids even more. Like, oh, you don't want us taking your kids for no reason. Okay, well, get ready for this. So it seems the battle is really on now. Can you comment on that?
Well, I think that's exactly right. Whenever you try to trim the powers of a governmental agency, whereby impacting those who benefit from what that, economically benefit from what that agency does, you're going to see all sorts of attempts to get around the court's decisions about how to trim their power. That's just the nature of government, and it's especially the nature of government where you've got other groups, like these groups that benefit from giving services to family or taking kids around, trying to push back.
Absolutely.
How did you first get mad, Jerry? How did you first learn about this?
I first learned about it when they took those kids out in El Dorado, and I couldn't sleep for 3 nights. And so I started calling to find out how I could help, and it ended up that not many lawyers were volunteering to help the fathers. So I helped one of the fathers, and then I entered into bizarro world. The first hearing I went to was on the services plan, and I put on, or I cross-examined the caseworker who admitted in front of the judge that there was no evidence of abuse and neglect. I made a motion for them to dismiss the case, and they didn't do it. To me, that's bizarre.
Mm-hmm. That's where I met Jerry. That's at that hearing.
That's right. No evidence, and they still take your kids. We only got 5 minutes left with you ladies, but I'd like to invite you for a full hour to come to the South Austin offices we have, whenever you can both get here to, talk to the full audience. We also simulcast on TV. But how do we, number one, beat this current bill, and B, get involved with you guys and support what you're doing?
Well, to veto this bill, you have to call the governor's opinion line. That's number one, and that's 800-252-9600. And you can leave a message 24 hours a day. If you want to talk to their switchboard and actually get a person, you can 512-463-2000. You can call your local representative and senator who may or may not really understand what they voted for because this was passed unanimously, and say, hey, what are you doing to stop this thing that you probably didn't know was tacked on?
All right, stay there. Back in 1 minute to start the final hour. Gary Franchi coming up, but I want to give those numbers out again, ladies, when we get back.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?